one in Nico, one in coldzera, and they are both having a time introducing some new strategic depth to the team.
For what could be the very last time today, and you won't get the chance to do this until next year when we come back.
Next year.
Are you ready? Woo! Let's do it together, Copenhagen. Potentially the last map of Blast 2019. Ninjas on the T side. They've got a lot to prove after their performance from earlier today. But why not now? 2 sets of utility coming in from this T-side pistol. Double smoke, triple flash, and that beautiful armored P250 on Forest.
Very standard lay of the land 2-1-2 setup. Just to cover all options. Ton of tunnel presence from NiP, but they have made the decision. It looks like they might have that kind of classic everybody knows mid to B strat with a simple singular mid to B smoke. That's actually both the complement and flashes go out, but they rotate back. It's only one person to go out mid. I think this is the best way to do it.
Roki trying to get himself more than just that burst, but oh no, he hits the wrong head. coldzera gets betrayed, and just like that, Twist and Lekro, they're gonna clamp down on a chance that's been gifted to them. NiP, 4 versus 2 in this B-site post plant. A single flash, perhaps, for Rain to get into this retake. They do have the kit, so time may be a bit more on their side, but they need those crisp headshots. We've got Plopsky peeking off the back plat, Twist just beneath the window, and still 2 Ts over towards ramp side, so this is not gonna get any easier anytime soon. They know it, they're gone. They tuck tail and start to walk back. They're gonna try to corral NiP, try to add some damage to the tally, but they come up near empty-handed. A heartbreak in the pistol.
Okay, yeah, at least he gets the 2 kills, but yes, it is a bit of a heartbreaker when you have Brokey at the back of the site shooting his teammate in the head, but it's also kind of his fault because that's coldzera's spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was playing there. He just kind of decided they were going to double up, but maybe I think coldzera initially was looking down and then Brokey was going to double up on purpose so that he could take attention away, and coldzera decided to peek up a bit early. Who knows? But it's not the biggest deal in the world.
And
it's
they laughed
just a
it
pistol,
off.
and FaZe have survived pistols in the past.
Of course.
In fact, we saw that last map.
Ooh, and they start off with another headshot, this time in the right direction. Nico denying any kind of long control. The numbers were certainly there for NiP. They had like 3 or 4 trying to head out. Plopsky's gonna linger a bit longer as the rest of his team head towards Catwalk now. This mid to B has potential. coldzera, give it a chance and give it a kill. However, there's another player close in smoke. And NiP are going entirely in through tunnels. Who holds the line? It's Brokey. Time to make up for your past sins, my friend. He's got a help from Rain. There's Brokey with at least the first one, but Plopsky's movement, his jump over, still gonna cost him HP. FaZe Clan with a second scout into the mixture. The right ingredients for an upset win, and yeah, Rain's gonna deny that bomb. It is just Twist, 10 health, 1v3. 45 seconds and he's down. Olaf runs by. So I understand now why they laugh off Brokey's TK.
Yeah.
Laughing in the faces of ninjas like, you think you have a chance?
We already know we had Dust 2 wrapped up, right? When they took a break, I'm sure that's all they were talking about. No problem. This is exactly what we wanted. They screwed up. They lost the first map. They should have won it. And yeah, that's Rain just putting himself in a position in the smoke just to come out when he hears that bomb defuse or bomb getting planted as an audio cue. Okay, just move up a little bit, take some spam shots, ends up working out beautifully. Now we're into round 3, tied 1-1, but FaZe Clan confidence-wise and about to be numerically in the lead. 2 and B, 3 out towards long. No presence towards mids from the CTs, but that's fine early on. Can't plant at mid. Only issue would be a fast mid to B split, which can be quite common on these rounds, but it seems like instead, Ninjas will turn their talents to Cat, work up slowly, and see if they can cross it. We saw at this tournament so much attention given to this part of the map.
Plopsky's smoke not going to be used in the push, meant for the post plant perhaps. Molotov's going to be behind these Ts, so Nico's going to feel the heat. Tries to get more damage in, and he will. Naps the elbow, USP box bang, and now Lekro's gonna return fire. At least his deagle's good for 1, and a 3rd now. Lekro, named by other pros, one of the best Deagle players out there.
And Nico.
And if he continues with these last 2 kills, then that's evidence. Proof is in the pudding. coldzera is going to wrap around from long, and we have that MP9 on Brokey trying to inch his way in off Cat. Single flash is all that's left, and there is a kid in play. They have confirmation that Brokey's there, but they do not know about coldzera, and he's crouching, he's creeping, he's crawling, he's closing this distance, and he's going to have to close the 1v2. Cover of the box from Lekro, who does still look for the 4th, but no, sir. Retake solid. Cold with a kit has time, but the cost stacked up. That's what you like to see. FaZe Clan's force buy wins the round, and NiP's nearly takes them the distance.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So it comes close. There's enough money here that works out well for NiP. They do still have to save. They're going to have wait a second. They've got the SG out, but not enough for a second one, so they can't even drop that for someone who has armor. An interesting problem here, but at the same time, we've seen them do this in the past where they just have one guy raid boss it, try to get the entries, and here he is, Lekro Chem all the way through. He's going to be leading the charge. Don't know if they're going to go slow, but if they go too slow, then this is all going to fall apart behind Lekro. It's probably important that they don't get damage shaved off by grenades and picked apart slowly because they have weaker guns. Instead, let him lose the charge. There's one man off the board. Lekro can make something happen. Wow, really good peek. A good amount of damage dealt. coldzera's low. But he's also one of the least valuable pieces to do damage to. He's at equal strength with that op. 1 shot, 1 kill.
He won't shy away. He will not hide. Does put a bit of distance between him and Brokey, just to be safe.
That's true.
But he'll keep his eyes down towards the depths of mid. Meanwhile, Rain with a Molotov in hand. Puts that down and drops.
5 cat plays being possible. You know, no long control necessary. It's a very tempting place to go.
This time they used their smoke before their push around. They had that same smoke in the light buy last round. Gives them a little bit of space to play with, but Nico, and he drops the bomb. Bomb falls down towards spawn. Rain's just gonna jump on it. At this point, I mean, Lekro's life valuable. The Deags let him go, or how? Could they, I mean, somebody drops, throws that bomb back up, but they both go down. All 3 go down. They've gotten back their bomb, but now they have to boost, and if he dies, he's left on his own, so they fight. And yet still, they'll get a kill. And not all dead just yet until they peek around that corner. FaZe to the 3-1 lead.
Wow, that swift op shot, man. What a wicked op shot from Nico. And it's the round definer. Knocks the bomb into spawn instantly. Obviously, if you're carrying the bomb, number 1, you've got to take a step back.
Yeah, back up, bro.
Mind the gap, right? Stand back a little bit. And also, don't look directly over the railing because the bomb is going to go flying in the direction that you face. But sometimes it's still going to happen, especially when you have pistols and everyone needs to fight. You're going to be tempted to look over. So it's understandable how it does get dropped in that situation. But FaZe Clan fall on their feet. As per usual, as we've seen, really good CT side to start things off. They maintain the 2 ops, minimal losses. And they've dealt with Cat a couple of times as one of, NiP's kind of pocket strategies you're going to see repeated on this T side. And if they don't have that as a threat, they're going to feel very unconfident, I think.
Nobody over facing in mid. Scopes hoping for someone to hit, but FaZe Clan keep it safe. Tucked away is Rain and Spawn. Catwalk's open. NiP so spread out. They're playing all faces of the map, and what a nasty op shot. Just slams him through the sliver of the door. A 5 versus 4 now. Tempting from FaZe. Rain tucks himself into the cubby.
Doesn't even need to fight here, really.
Nope.
2 and B, but he's got a pretty good spot. We'll see.
And nobody checks him. All too easy for Rain. He will still drop to Lekro, but Lekro finds himself completely alone. He has no bomb control, but at least a second kill is his. However, FaZe so fast at wrapping round in all directions. They challenge through window, they fly out B door, and you even had that mid flank to seal it all off.
Yeah. Now Popsky's attention is obviously on the window, first and foremost. He's expecting respect on the smoke. And Rain throws him a curveball. You know, I guess one of the values in pushing the 5v4 is that no one expects you to make that move. So he doesn't get hard cleared. Really sick round. I mean, even that one kill from Nico is huge. And it seems like he's hitting everything right now. So I'm down for the Nico show if that's what we're in store for.
Oh, quick headshots versus the unarmored CZs. Oh, and the frag grenade even. The Molotov behind him. Run, hide.
Quiver, cower.
Just hope you can do something in the next round, because so far so good from FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, keep your heads on straight. The problem for me, even more so, is that it was NiP's CT side that was almost even worse. So we'll see if they fix those problems and if they can even make a half of this, because FaZe looks so good. So good. Just the CZs. See, slow creep out mid into the waiting arms of coldzera. You know he wants to fight.
Oh! And the D!
Oh,
good for another! Swaps to the sidearm and just blasts him.
Describe that in one word.
But actually,
I would have gone with like egregious, you know.
Okay. Well, you're the educated one here.
Okay.
I learned in the schools of Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Guess I have yet to graduate. But, oh my God.
Listen, man, you're getting there, step by step.
You love how he moves towards the smoke when, you know, if you're losing or anything like that, you're going back into the window, like hiding in B, waiting for your teammate.
Oh,
he's ready. Okay.
Here we go. Come on, this is what I was hoping for, because if there was one thing that NiP really started to impress me with on Nuke, it was Twist's op play. He had some stellar CT rounds.
Super smart op
So
play, yeah.
when we think back to that earlier 16-3 at the start of the day, what needs to change? What could be different? I look to Twist. At least this round, he hits the flick. Nico removed early.
I love that he's just early in the half, just taking some of his own initiative to look into upper B, just see if that's a place that's being held. He can get a kill there. Really love to see more abuse there. I think that's so important. Olaf behind the smoke. He's got friends on cat. Okay, this is a totally normal setup. Great for them. They can even escort Rocky up mid if they want to. They sit and wait, but they are 5v4.
Molotovs start burning up the site. Looking to make the foot placement awkward. Electro's still all right for now.
Oh, another Molotov comes out. Time ticks down, and all the CTs are getting into their favorite spots for the retake. They can.
Sure enough, and there's a third.
Oh my God, yeah.
These mollies just denying a lot. But Plopsky will still be able to plant. He's found himself some sanctuary, although the grenade lands then right on him. 5v4 and an advantage for NiP.
They don't lock it down a kill. They don't do a ton of damage with the incendiaries. They've only just delayed.
And the problem of using all those mollies is now nobody's able to burn these Ts at a goose.
Yeah.
Rez, however, he's made noise. Brokey 100% just heard him. If they deal with that, now the retake gets rolling, and it's even keeled at 4v4.
Yeah.
Or the time.
It was just time. If that kill came earlier, then yeah, you know,
Sure.
they're definitely going to go for it. Yeah.
Which all of a sudden makes Rez's push not seem so bad.
You got to appreciate that, though. Throwing the Molotov to see what happens. Oh, that's a nice spray. Really sick stuff with the SIG. That's great. I mean, now they're up 4-2, 4-1 in this round. And NiP, they're just looking for two men.
Hello?
That's all they want.
Oh my God.
Okay. It's all in the name.
Twist and flick.
Yeah. Okay, so at least one kind of consummary kill there at the end. Twist gets that, and he retains the op, which is big. But FaZe look good, and you know what? I think what they most tried to do was like see what the incendiaries, Molotovs, whatever they had could do for them, and then if those didn't work out, then they save with 4. Kind of the big idea, and it ends up being just fine. I think like of all the ways to lose, that's definitely the best. So Rain is. Rain wants some attention back. I remember when Rain joined this team, and he was the most quiet star at first. Like the team was kind of built around him in the beginning, but he was like the star of LGB, which is like a minor star. Sure. But then he becomes the best player on a team with Nico, Guardian, Olaf, and it's like, what?
The last remaining original member.
Right, yes.
Rain's been here since the start.
He's the Breezy of Europe.
Yeah, the stellar pillar. Let's go into the next one. Like you said, The best way to lose a round is to do it with taking everybody out from NiP, but Cold fully blind. You can't even stop him. He will miss the second shot, but using the smoke to create a little bit of space as he calls for reinforcements. Unfortunately, the rotation's still so far away, and yet what? He's alive. Fire engulfs the site, and there it is. Lekr0 able to dismantle the defense, take that slight edge to the 4v3 we go.
Yeah, some decent grenades. Forest, key player. This is it, really.
It's going to take an adjustment. He's raiding for the tunnels peak.
Yeah, and Olaf doesn't seem to know that he's here too, but he might get cleared. It's a very aggressive angle. CTs don't seem like they want to try to retake this. Olaf already seems to be prepared to just get exit. So it seems like Lekr0 has just won them the round. That was a great amount of time delayed by coldzera. You love how he played that. And look at the smokes. You know, sometimes now on the B site, it doesn't make sense to smoke the tunnel because teams have executes through the tunnels. Instead, he uses the smoke defensively on the back of the site, creates a new wall that they now have to figure out a new way to try to approach. And if a Molotov comes that way, you can stand near the smoke and be free from it. You can also go over top of it and scares them from getting closer. So that's something that we'll see that's like very common on the B side of Dust 2 specifically. It was also really sick that coldzera obviously just gets a kill with the op blind. And doesn't seem to be worried the entire time. But another really important round here from Lekr0.
Wild to me, of course, that Lekr0 gets into that mix.
Yeah.
Look for sure that once coldzera had help, they'd be able to just cull back those Ts.
Definitely Rain just needed like one more second. Lekr0 needed to be blind, but yeah, we've seen him do that. He's really good. He's really good with a lot of chaos going on. Force stack towards long, full buyout for the CTs. Presence now into the tunnels for Ninjas. They sit and wait. Rez is going to just sit here and collect information, correspond with his teammates. Counting grenades, of course.
Just for the record, too, NiP have now gotten as many rounds as they did in the entire map that these teams first faced off on. So improvements, Launders. Plenty of room for improvements.
Here, right?
Which means maybe, just maybe, we get a treat, a delicacy, like we did on Nuke.
Some snails.
No, ew, no, wait. Little Krieg spam. Smoke meant to pump fake. Still so much utility across this. Molotovs start to rain in. Broky's gonna feel this heat. He's burning down to 29, and Plopsky holds him on as coldzera's in the corner, and nobody else has faced him. And these other two Ts are so low that Cold, what do you know, could very well hold. Forrest still able to best him, and Rain on 11 health is afraid to go for this peak, so he waits.
Just chill.
He waits.
Cold is far back, though. Man, they're giving up on these retakes. They're becoming slightly more and more winnable each time. Ninjas are, though, picking a good side of the map to attack. They gave up on Cat after it started failing. Now they've moved their attention over to B. That's starting to work out a little bit more well. And the way you're characterizing this in the play-by-play, Connor, is that it looks like Cold is probably going to hold, that they're actually going to have a solid B defense. Ninja are still scraping out of these kills. They're coming away with low HP, but that's enough. And they know that FaZe are going to save quite often. And that's just, why not? Keep doing it if it works.
Just scraping by. That's all they've done. But if they can continue to scrape by for another 10 rounds, next thing you know, it's on the defense. We reset at point 1.
Yeah, it's definitely a tight race. And as you mentioned, they were already shooting above. So, but as I talked about, like it was their CT side that had the most visible, most palpable problems, the most seriously flawed setups that we've seen. But again, those are also band-aid solutions that they can use to save them. You know, just make sure you have long control at all times, or make sure you have cat control. Like very simple stuff. So we'll see if that comes into play. A timeout is called here for NiP as they go to talk things over. I would wonder, though, if I was looking at those rounds, I'd be like, well, man, these were close calls that we had in the B. Do we want to try that again? I would try to maybe lean towards it. They did have one round that got absolutely destroyed where they went to go for a mid to B. Lekr0 came out mid, everybody else went through tunnels. So, I don't know.
It's wild to think these last 3 rounds, we go back, you've got 4 survivors, 7 survivors, 5 survivors. These rounds really boiling down to
nobody wants to retake. Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
No one wants to retake B.
Everybody's thinking of tomorrow's battle.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah,
and 15-round war.
There's even a 4-man save on the A side where they did tons of damage, but they don't even attempt the 4v5 retake. So I think it's up to Ninjas. You know, they can set the tone. How do they want to attack? How do they want to approach? Well, find out now. Standard default. There's not been a lot of aggressive cap presence from FaZe. It's not exactly been called for because things have been going so well apart from B so far on the map. But at a certain point they'll notice, you know, they're going back to these more standard defaults of cap control for a minute.
Yeah, I feel like things are starting to normalize now. We're 10 rounds in.
That's a duel.
Oh, right in the dome, Rain.
Splattered on the back of mid. Now all of a sudden, the extremities of the map, although they do belong to FaZe, it's the mid that's all open. And also that catwalk hit. Nico's gonna look to bring this one back into control, taking the fight on his own terms. Still has the ability to drop down if he gets this first shot off, but you just can't help but feel like he needs a kill with it. If he doesn't take down that front man, the op's gonna be on cycle. With those smokes being thrown, he's gonna play around, hits the first, and he goes for the flash, but Lekro's so blind he can't punish. Now Nico throws a second flashbang, turns his back to the gunfights, and he's in position, hoping to drop another body. Olaf, in the meanwhile, he's gone on long, so now Nico knows his life has a timer on it. He's gonna go and try and make the play, but punished he is. 2 versus 4, retake attempt perhaps. But with the amount of saves we've seen called, why wouldn't coldzera take this op back and just move on to the 11th round?
Yeah, definitely. This is already a new NiP, man. They look way better. Yeah, this is really cool. So there, you know, they've approached the last 3 rounds with that standard cat presence, but then the 2 before they go into B. This time they end up committing to cat, and it's after a few rounds where they haven't gone cat at all. But in the previous rounds, they just did it a little bit earlier. And Nico plays that well. Again, we're seeing that position where you're coming around elbow, and you're responsible for doing some damage before the A site exec comes out. Nico tries to go very aggressive, and I love how he actually doesn't jump in a CT spawn. He realizes he's much more useful if he doesn't, and that he could just get chased down if he tries. So he takes the riskier approach almost to get back to the site off of a good flash. And
talking about risk, good. I love the fact that he doesn't even look behind him.
Yeah.
Just sprints to safety as fast as he could, bouncing the flashbang off. And you know Lekro gave chase that entire time, but he was eating the same flashes that were just popping off above the head of Nico.
Yeah, they both recognize the imminence, like what needed to happen right there and then.
But Ninjas have broken them.
Pistols. We've got Deagles.
I do feel like NiP have to keep this rolling, though, because I don't think the job gets any easier once they swap sides.
Yeah, for sure.
Last 5 rounds of Ninja's T side. Let's go. Finally, they've gotten a huge gun advantage here. Can they flex it with minimal losses? That's the biggest question.
Second round of this game was lost to a Nico.
Does history repeat itself? Close fight on mid doors. FaZe not wanting to commit too much. They'll lose a spam fight versus AKs.
Olaf's got a lot of sweets coming his way. I'm sure he'll feel right at home, but no, he actually ends up just getting decimated. So it's a congregation of the CTs on top of the A site. They know what's coming their way. Let's see if they can do anything with it. With these sluggers.
They're going to push cat. If they can get that AK, then maybe add it to the arsenal. All of a sudden, the A hit seems a little bit more risky.
See the T's disperse immediately.
Yep. But also, bomb continues on. FaZe Clan. Through smoke, Brokey, no, drops the bomb. That's a slight edge, 4v3, and Frez will get one right back through smoke. Sweet, sweet revenge. Rain can't hit it yet, but Nico will. Oh, Nico will pop heads on both sides of the coin. Can Brokey pull off a miracle here? Trying his best, but no, sir. NiP will establish themselves a lead. Wild.
That was
wild
the most
rounds.
confusing kill feed of all time, right?
I didn't know what I was reading.
I thought Nico killed 3 people and himself. But yeah, that's what it looked like to me. But yeah, okay, they get what they can. I'm glad NiP won that round because it felt like they should have, and they got like kind of unlucky with the Deagle spam through the smoke, but Rain hit a nice one Deag. And Nico tapping away, yeah.
It's kind of on Rain.
A little bit, yeah, it's like, what can you do? I mean, it's just, they're trying to cross the same, they've got the same idea, right? Great minds think alike, I suppose. Or look extremely stupid by accident. Things happen. 2 ops here, Nico and coldzera. Full utility kits. Rain's got 120 ADR still, after even though they've lost like pretty drastically those last few rounds.
Normally we look to Nico on this map in particular.
Yeah.
He's kind of their Dust 2 specialist.
We saw a couple of rounds that he hit shots. We're like, all right, yeah, he's definitely got a magnet on the end of his op this game. Looks sick for sure. Love the consistent pace that NiP keep rolling out at, just going and clearing all of the usual angles, doing everything on Dust 2 that's free, making sure no tunnels push comes out, conditioning their opponent, keeping them honest. Making this as most frustrating as possible for a FaZe Clan. We saw Brocky early on tried to peek into upper tunnels, but we've seen that NiP have been very adamant about holding on to it, not letting him feel comfortable about taking that risk, taking any initiative, and that can be debilitating for a B player. It's boring enough as it is being a B player on Dust 2, but now somebody is like sitting there waiting for you to push once every 5 rounds, every single round.
Yeah, that one lapse of judgment. A shake in your patience. You're dead in tons. We hit the minute mark with still 5 players on each side. Double op a big investment. And the smoke grenades with those 2 extra mollies could be enough to burn off the clock.
You have a hiccup there?
Yeah, I did, thanks.
Any chance I get to call you out, why not? Okay.
Keep me on my toes.
Yes.
So will Rain. He pushes through that smoke. They've evacuated the catwalk and he knows it, so it definitely justifies the 2 CTs in spawn. And if they boost over this box, that'd be great, but the molly forces the feet of Rain forward. Twist would have heard that damage. coldzera still on the back of Plat. Now Lekro's already inside of the bomb site. Rez is doing TKs.
We're setting a TK record, but what's most important, like, don't get distracted. This is another sick round from NiP.
Yeah.
That's as a really USB take. Every single person was blind, and you know it's chaos, and you know that it's a really good take when you don't even understand what's going on.
You subtract that Team K, this is a flawless round.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The guy, the supporting man, Brocky, he's always getting caught out in the open. Now flashed and blind, where coldzera can stay alive because he knows how to do that, but he's only offered up like a chance to get 1 kill, sometimes not even getting that now. And man, NiP are asserting their dominance on both sides now.
I think the round-defining piece of utility is the Molotov that hits in CT spawn. They were going for that boost to try and hold back the B ramp, completely lost it.
Yeah, shut down. True, yeah. And that's when you have somebody that's sitting on the right side, well, from the CT's perspective on the left side of doors, and they're going to be boosted up. They can't cross, it's not safe. You have to like be able to throw a nade. And so when they make that decision, that's when it gets really ugly. 3 seconds out of timeout, or out of pause, excuse me. 2 rounds left in the half. Ninjas going back to B fully, waiting out this Molotov, potentially hitting this with 4.
Cold. This time, he's got the shots. This time, he's got the kills. Twist answers, but Broky's there to trade. Finally, a convincing outcome coming from FaZe. A hold they can be proud of, not just haphazardly getting through these rounds.
Yeah, you do lend overconfidence when you do that. You lose a round like that,
yeah.
You know, you make them feel better. And then sometimes we see the rushes happen later on in the half where it doesn't matter as much. And they have tried so many looks now that, yeah, you'd expect some kind of fast play to occur. Ninjas have not tried a fast B like that, so, you know, it's kind of bound to happen at some point.
You see it in Cold's reaction, too.
Yeah.
You know?
He's supporting Brock. He's, like, making him feel good, right?
Yeah.
It's important. He's got to feel like he's not letting his team down. He's young.
There we have it. Quick boost up Cat. FaZe gonna take an opening kill. Again, if they can keep this first half within 1, I think they swap to the T side with a smile on their face.
Sure, I agree with that.
So let's get there. The 14th already with a man advantage. Bong being added to what could be this A split, but do FaZe come back for second servings? They already went for that boost, toppled the player in lower tunnels,
yeah,
and then started to fall back, but Rain gets curious.
Oh, he knows, yeah. I mean, this is the only thing they have to worry about on A, right? They've lost long control. They're giving that up. They have 2 ops. The thing is, Olaf doesn't have one. Nico's up on Cat. They're not really looking all the way down here, so they run a risk. A lot of this comes down to Rain. He's kind of a good pain point for FaZe to have, though, because he's been so fantastic at getting these kills.
As long as Twist doesn't get an equalizing kill before they push, They should be able to hold, but Lekro looks away from the smoke at the worst possible moment. Now Nico's gonna be the insurance policy tucked behind the box. Olaf decides to make the play, sees the scope in the background, goes for the multi-kill, but Resin Plopsky still with enough to make a round here, 1 versus 2. But so little health, 4 HP, and Plopsky doesn't know there's a man just beneath him. Brokey could go for the jump shot if he's really feeling lucky.
Oh, the fake plant costs him now.
They know coldzera's down there. He has a read on this situation. Brokey's gonna play from ramp. If he plants safe, he's gonna be all right. And all of a sudden the retake's on. Brokey with the high ropes, hops down onto bomb and equalizes at 7.
Yeah, that was a, you give it your best shot. They tries to get the 1v2, doesn't work out so well. A nice round from everyone on FaZe, like just holding on to cat control, like being good about it, and supporting Rain with their utility to help him get his kill. I mean, the smoke, he ends up winning the duel by himself, but they have to leave him alone at some point because they've got this problem of long, and they know it's going to be majority long. They just want to try to create a rumble on cat. That's NiP. But when they can't get that off, it just makes it so much easier to hold, and that's why we saw FaZe come out ahead in trade. So now we'll see who will take a numerical lead in this game to close out the half.
Yeah, I respect NiP using that third pause here. It's only going to leave them with 1 for the entirety of the second half and any potential overtimes. But when you take into mind that earlier today, FaZe run away with a 13-2 T-side,
yeah,
NiP knows that every round here is so important.
Yeah, it's already going to be daunting knowing
so let's
to go into that.
sweat for an 8th. Someone's going to have a lead as we run into the halftime. There's no more waiting around. Double op still a key component to FaZe on the defense. No opening picks on a clash with Long.
All options covered. Ooh, op getting close to tunnel. This is a new look for FaZe to get aggressive on this side, and it's a great way to win a duel versus almost anybody. And it depends how far coldzera goes, but you know, it's really hard to stop once you pass a certain point with this op. It's not easy to trade this kill either.
Not at all. Especially once these flashes could call attention towards mid. If there's any support from Rain and CT, it's going to be Brokey on B door, and that leaves Cold even more on his own. But still we wait. Final minute of the first 15. And NiP start to get this rolling. They've got that cat control for them. So much utility still. But it looks like we may put that second op in an aggressive spot. We still have coldzera on the tunnels, and Nico's curious towards cat.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, you see the discipline, you know Lekro's thinking about it.
Yep, dancing with death.
Oh, he comes for it.
He extends just as Lekro wanted to go back for bomb, and if that tells you anything, it's that this B hit's coming because there's 20 seconds left. Olaf activates out long. It's all in on this push. Already at a 3 versus 5 disadvantage. Cold starting to tag up damage. Now Brokey clears plat, and Twist cannot do anything more. FaZe getting it back at least the slight edge. 5-1 the start, and 8-7 the end. Folks, we'll see you back for the second half.
I have no idea. It's such a weird thing because I didn't imagine I'd get to do this, and then suddenly when I started doing it full time, it was all quite sudden. I'm almost in the moment at the moment and not even thinking about the future. I keep emphasizing I'm a nice person, which might mean I'm not.
Everyone, I'm stood here with Twister, the coach from Ents, and I've got Little from FaZe. And what I've just discovered is these two used to play together in 1.6. Do you think you can beat these guys today?
Who?
Oh, well, there you have it. It's going to be a fiery one, so let's head in back to the desk. Thank you so much. You made my job so easy. Thank you. Good luck, guys. Thank you.
No.
We'll head it back to the desk. I said send, it's fine.
Sometimes it will be, I've had a week to prepare and I've got my notes. Sometimes I actually need to refresh. So I'm always looking at interviews and just trying to find out what the players have been saying, because sometimes that's quite useful to kind of call back to when I'm doing interviews. Standings, I'll look at their map pools and things like that. So it's general prep. And also catching up with the talent when they land, because one of the best things about Blast is the talent you get to work with are just so much fun, and it's always such a pleasure to see them. So, for example, like, I'm always looking forward to seeing Potter.
I'm really bad at this.
Launders could be. A half that, if we just go back a few hours, was a total blowout to the favor of FaZe. So I think that at this point, being 1 round ahead of NiP and starting this T side, they're licking their chops.
Yeah, they've got some food left in there and they're all over it.
Save lunch for later.
That's right.
But quick little 20 seconds to really let the severity of the situation sink in.
Bold might be taking someone for a mustache ride this November. You know what I mean?
Hey man, he's looking good in terms of the server, like
Yes.
pumping up everybody. I loved how vocal he
What,
was.
only the
towards end
server?
of-
He's only looking good in the server? Not out of the server, he's not looking good?
Not my type, man.
Okay, whatever.
I like him brown.
I couldn't tell, man. I couldn't tell.
So it's yeah, it's nice to see him vocal. It seems like he does have a place kind of at the helm alongside Nico.
Yeah, that's huge. It's weird that it didn't seem like that was such that was so impactful up until this point.
Right.
But
Yeah, this is a good example for
maybe
it.
at some point they just figure it out. Synergy sometimes comes with time, and no better time than now to just keep exploring new options, especially when things aren't going so well. So good to see FaZe, a very expensive lineup, doing well. All right, folks, here we are. Into the second half. Wow. Wapski is not wasting time. Neither is Forrest from behind.
All right, NiP. Okay, try and take it to him.
Oh.
Don't sit back and relax, but rather get the ball rolling. However, that ball turns into a boulder.
Oh, okay.
And they almost lose control of mid, but that kill from Rez takes the advantage back. However, all this time, Rain just sprints up long A. Hello!
No.
Goodbye. Rez will die, but way too close for liking. Now at this point, Bomb's gonna double all the way back towards B. The layers, Launders.
Man,
the layers in this pistol. And if Rain can just pick up kills, then it's all over. But Twist equalizes, and this is such a crucial 1v1.
It's frags, dude. All ridiculous shots happening.
A big pistol. Bomb planted at B. Twist has the audio instantly, and he's also playing on the kit. Olaf doesn't have armor. Flashbang thrown to try and get him deep tons.
Oh, wow.
Twist sees the foot, almost hits the head. Could tap bomb, and he does have cover.
Oh, he actually
Olaf's gonna have to rush this, and it's an execution. Twist clambering back into the 1 versus 2, taking Ninjas to the equal 8 score, and more importantly, giving them that economic boost at the start of what could be a really hard half.
What's that worth if you lose the next round, though, Connor?
That's a very valid point.
Yeah, FaZe have been really good at stealing back these second rounds.
They're real nasty.
And the thing is, it hurts so bad to lose the second round that oftentimes you see that become a streak. You know, it's just something that you're so mentally not prepared for when it happens because you're favored moving into the round starting. And yeah, so, I mean, listen, just hope that NiP play it properly and carefully and keep all their ducks in a row and are meticulous. But we did see some problems on the CT side. We'll see if they fixed them. Harp on that one last time. It's a decent buy, though, for FaZe Clan. Very decent. Three Kriegs. This was something that Ninjas could not afford in the first half when they got ecoed back.
I'm not even going to sleep on these Deagles either.
Yeah, true.
Olaf and Cold wielding the hand cannons. Utility bountiful here for the T side still. It's cost them nothing even to encroach their way down mid. Closer and closer they'll go.
Really congealed into their spots, lining the walls of the middle. B could be an understandable temptation with Twist and CT spawn, but he's got some vision as well. Into the tunnel is Plofsky between two smokes.
Can't see anything, but he still shaves off some health thanks to the nade. CT spawn soon to be clear, but Twist starts making noise as he sprints up towards the B site. This could give Olaf a huge chance to backstab, but what's going to be left by the time that happens? The push on B has to hit. 15 seconds. And coldzera has a bit of a chance until Forrest doubles back through window. And there you go. The forced buy to the wayside. NiP 9-8.
That got scary for a couple of reasons. Number one, 2 of NiP's players were at long, so if they don't push through, they've got a hell of a long rotation back to B. Number 2, Olaf getting out to mid in between the smoke and then flanking. That's huge. So it really comes down to the B site hold. Sure. They deliver on that front. That's enormous. But in terms of like how much map control FaZe had, it was way too much. That really got scary there for NiP. They were lacking for sure, and they almost got caught slipping. But they come away with the rounds, the most important thing for sure. They're on a, now FaZe are on a proper save. They haven't spent very much at all. They're still kind of making their way quickly down mid.
Ooh. I mean, you don't have much to work with, but you'd hate to lose that deagle in the first 5 seconds. Rain's gonna try for second servings.
One man spot the cross.
I feel like NiP are really respecting these rounds.
Yeah, and
as they should be.
Cat is just Cat's pajamas these days. They've got a bunch of players waiting to go and take this. That could be a really well placed nade. It does do sufficient damage. Oh, we've got the cheerleader formation coming out. Run boosts to occur.
Give me an N.
Oh my god.
Olaf even catches Electro by surprise. Still, as expected, it doesn't go too well. MP9 jump shot gives himself the bomb. A golden gift here in the 18th round. NiP the first to double digits.
Nice. Nice. Yes, Dust 2, the most unlikely map of the 3. Ninjas in the lead. That's huge. We'll see if it counts for anything. We move into what'll be, you know, one of the most important rounds. Just a very telling round here in the second half. First real rifle. SG's out. Ninjas have only converted 1. Off to spot the cross. No legs, no opponents. Guys in the smoke forest. Looking to play anti-flash as he normally would. Second flash comes out, which sometimes denotes a peek. This time, that won't be the case. They play it safe.
But they are still very close doors. Reload will most certainly be heard. Twist playing on a narrow angle. Falls back.
Yeah. Sucks to lose it, but they had him on flex. He wasn't dedicated to holding on Cat. They still have res. It's going to be the first and most important enemy for FaZe, depending. Oh, Twist ends up getting killed. Top the sight box, potentially, just trying to crease his way out. Plopsky's going to replace him. That might be a heads-up play. Yeah.
Either a smoke spray or some sort of boost on the other side. But with the position of that corpse, I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been. That smoke was down well.
Maybe just unlucky. Regardless, FaZe Clan, they're going to try to put 2 hands on this and drag it over the line. Looking to get this tied as soon as possible. 35 seconds. And a lot of pressure falls onto Rez. And this was one of the most questionable spots of the map earlier today, was Rez trying to solo hold long. Continuously coming up empty-handed. Now he's to be tested at the 20-second mark, and if he can cut off that bomb, it is looking good. He's caught throwing utility, does a bit of early damage. Nico starts to clear the site while this gunfight unfolds, and the spray's not good enough, but the sprint is on. 100-meter dash, they have to cross. Forrest dealing the damage, can't manage the headshot, but there's no time, and NiP will nab an 11th, because Lekro hides, and that's all he has to do.
We know that's happened before. We've seen that happen before to FaZe. They take a little bit too long. Dust 2 is one of the maps that you just can't, you can't ever justify it. It's a map that's too simple to be like, okay, you can just run out of time and not be able to get a bomb down. So that's a huge point against FaZe. You know, it's clearly a matter of the circumstances more so than the map, because we know how good they are on the map. Now, for Ninjas, they were fine. I like Plops. Plopsky gets an extra kill there. He goes to replace Twist, who dies, and maybe in an unfortunate way. I think you were correct. It was probably that spam from Rain, because he tried it again.
Yeah, I saw
maybe
that
came
too.
away with that kill, yeah. And Rez does a bit better. Lots of extra damage this round, but him just delaying is enough. But
Big
can
chase.
they find him now?
Oh, what? Rain, he's got to be traded. Now, Lekro with a double. Cold comes out and still keeps that 3v3. But that could have been Rez with an easy 2K, because the first T doesn't check him. That's one of those situations where I feel like NiP could have been way better off, but at the same time, FaZe could have also just cleared it. One of those even round nows that really, really relied on a thread.
Yeah. Ooh, no A defense. They make a good read. I mean, I say they have a lot of information.
Force is going to activate. I would love if he gave chase here. Oh, Brokey's going to watch it. A big duel that Brokey takes so much damage in, but still happens to hit the head. Now they question themselves. Do we redirect? We've already got bomb on long.
You know they like to rock it back.
There's only a single smoke for them to try and get this across as well.
But they shouldn't. They should just keep going.
Just keep going. Unless Plopsky can find timing, because they did just delay. That bomb could have already been on the cusp of the cross.
Oh, Brookie's got a better gun for his spot to defend. Caddy's falling back, and he gets the fadeaway.
Grenade?
That's defining moment. It's back. It's actually now a 1v2 Twist.
And he's going to reposition, most certainly up Cat. Can he bring this back?
Oh, up on the line.
A 1 versus 3, as you said, op on the line. That's a tantalizing save, but he's going to swap over to the AUG, switches to the op. He doesn't know what he wants to do, but he'll play off that first flash. Hope to bag another body. Hasn't yet. They hide.
They would never. They would never. He's got to try to earn a peek.
Yep.
Takes the fall.
He has no other way to flush them out. No drop utility, no Molotov, nothing. A great placed grenade, but just not enough to keep FaZe off round 9. Still, they'll cut down that difference to just 2 rounds.
Yeah, they inch closer. They inch closer. Bomb will go off, and FaZe win a very important round, I think, for their mentality. That was a much better affair. Yeah, so, I mean, what are they? They still have so much left in the playbook to try. Nice round from Brocky, winning his duel versus Forest first, and then switching out to the op, and then making sure that Cat is defended. I mean, either of those kills go down for NiP, and it's such a different round. So, once again, just having this, like, very, very noticeable impact. Even if it's only in 2 kills at a time. Oh my God. Off of timing, Plopsky just resents the fact that his teammates convinced him to play B. Just resents it.
The life of a B player. And on the tip of my tongue I had, if Olaf starts activating here, if he starts hitting shots, if he can come into this and play alongside the other 4 members of FaZe, then I can't help but feel like they've got it. He trails behind them, but opens up in a very crucial round, because if they were to get hard reset by this kind of half buy, ugh. Still, Deagle, CZ, MP9, that's all that's in play for the Ninjas. And Rez is on the forefront. So close he can smell them. Now they start to round the corners. He's obviously the first to fall. Lekro in such a tough spot. Fire at his feet. Smoke does plume. And that flashbang's good enough to at least drop 1 body. But it's a 4 versus 2. And now Twist comes into this. That op. That crucial op of his. Can't really justify going for the retake here. They've got to let it slide.
Yeah, they're going to give this one up. That's a round earned from FaZe. A decent setup there to deny on Cat. One of their last remaining players ends up getting killed too, and it's just Twist to hold on to this up. Very important piece of weaponry to just try to take into this next round. FaZe touch on double digits now, 1 away from NiP, and definitely probably getting that confidence back. So this will be a very, very interesting up-and-coming round to see where FaZe want to take it. Again, I think they have so many options, and I'm kind of just letting them tell the story, because I feel like they feel like they could do anything to NiP, you know, based on what we've seen. So what do they want to do? You know, do they want to go back to their mid to Bs? Do they want to go back to their Cat plays that were so good? Do they want to try to go long control? Or do they expect that that bad performance from Rez was a flash in the pan? You know, he had a couple of really bad sprays, but Rez, as a player, most of the time is going to be able to get 1, 2 kills easily from that spot. So does that involve a change of game? We'll soon see.
And I feel like that mid pick, he shot him in the backpack. Almost seemed like Plopsky got across.
Should have. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of timing. Just went for it. Ends up being correct. There's no correct things to do if you're going to cross, you know, like jumping, running low, running high. They're all just different.
Olaf fires a black hole.
Oh my God. Twist
sucks him
hit
back.
that.
What a way it would have been to kick off this 22nd round, but very quickly repositioning the AWP successfully.
Yeah, a little dangerous from Coles. He knows that shot just went off, but good on Twist for being swift. He's moving around, being very fluid. That could be an op duel one. Rez just tries to use himself as a body bag just to earn the repeat.
Nice, that's bomb, but there's already a player out, and Rain recuperates well. Needed. Not only do you take down that AWP, but you deny what would have been a counter-terrorist sitting on your bomb. The rest of Ninjas nowhere near.
Yeah, nothing to do. That's a hard-earned plant for sure.
Yeah, but still, they'll be wary. So again, it's going to be one of these moments where FaZe, although they could just sprint to this site and take the round away, are going to be super cautious.
They always seem to be surprised when no one's there.
Yeah.
They're like, no way.
I mean, they are called Ninjas.
That's true.
NiP, though, going to start creating more space between them and the CTs, looking to lock it to the 11 round mark. And now things really get scary.
It does, yeah, it does. And you know what? FaZe haven't done an amazing job of maintaining bank on these ecos. Like they've lost a couple of players so far, and it looks like there's potential they can lose maybe another. No, Rocky will make sure that's not.
Great flash.
Yeah, great job, Brain. Good to see that. We can credit them as well. Yeah, so that's fantastic. 11 to 11, Connor, make a wish.
What more could I ask for?
Don't tell us. Don't tell us. Won't come true. But I guess that works out. Yeah, if you don't have anything to wish for.
Do you know where we're standing
really game
right
the
now?
System there.
Yeah.
Really game the system. That's
I
good.
win.
All right, so no SGs because they don't have money for it. They've got enough nades to call this like a very respectable buy. They have the op in play. They know Twist has been really smart, really good with it. No, the only thing left to do is prove they can make all these things work versus FaZe.
And they've got Ninjas limping into this buy.
This is a huge risk, in my opinion. The 4 tunnels play, we can see how badly this goes sometimes.
Oh, but if they time it well,
we'll see.
Or if they just get these clean cookie cutter entries, it's going to either look fantastic or atrocious, but here it comes regardless. Plopsky has the turn, and Plopsky burns away 3. That M4 just cuts down bodies and puts NiP in such a great position, although he does leave Forrest on his own. And if Olaf hits this, the round's back in action, because Nico cuts off CT spawn, although Twist will swing it in. 16 health in a 1 versus 3, and he would need the ace to clutch.
Man, sick awareness from Twist. Just doesn't see a name tag, and I think is aware of where Nico might be. I mean, Olaf winning this, is that a thing? Is that something we can consider?
Oh, the smoke fades. He sees one. He drops one. How about another? Nope. Lekro shuts down the show. All your hopes and dreams are crushed. It's NiP back in the lead.
In the 1v1, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
And he almost made it a 1v1.
Especially seeing what Olaf's offered us throughout this entire event, I was not about to count him out.
Yeah. No, 50% of the time he wins that every time. Guaranteed.
A timeout.
I don't like the call from FaZe. Yeah, I feel like they had so much to lose because if you're at like a economic deficit, you don't have full grenades, then you rush B, you don't really waste that much utility, but when you entry B, you don't get to use that much utility, especially if you do it early in the round. So to me, it feels like a little bit too early to throw in a Hail Mary strat like that when it was NiP who were low on grenades. You know?
Sure. Yeah, you had that advantage, but they didn't flex it.
So it feels like you just drop thousands of dollars of utility for players that get sprayed down just trying to make space, and sometimes that feels like a bit of a waste. But you know that there is a chance that they did get those trades, and then you know we look crazy, obviously. But good positioning from Plopsky, good for Forrest to be in the door. And I know that in the past, like the last time that we saw Ninjas play on Dust 2, they had a problem in B where Plopsky was left alone and Forrest didn't rotate it in fast enough. So maybe FaZe were trying to harp on that.
But kind of happy with the outcome because we find ourselves in an excellent situation. Solid buys on each side, still 1 round the difference, and we're nearly in the last 5 rounds of this map. So let's just keep it going. Keep the party rolling. Molotov smokes down on mid. Oh no! Oh no, Rain! He's not gonna get blown apart, but how can Flopsky hold on his own? He can't. It's so blinding. And yet still Brokey comes out on top, and they already have the mid control. So the 3 remaining members of NiP, you can't help but feel like they have to go for the save.
Oh my god, that is so tragic. I mean, with the way they lose the round, that is so tragic. The smoke.
You run back that exact same situation 10 times, and it's a 50-50 outcome.
I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, like look at Plopsky. He even just gives up on a spray. That's direct contact with 2 people. If he just held that down, it's good, but he's blind, so he's making a guess. So you can credit that to the flash of the FaZe, or you could say, you know, I mean, maybe he's even lucky to get the first kill. I don't know. It's hard to really kind of synthesize that and figure out where the key moments that can be reproducible. I mean, it's a rush. It's a rush through B, one of the most simple moves in the game. This time they involve that mid presence, and that kill is a factor for sure. I mean, that helps them out quite a bit. But I don't know. It's interesting to me to see them try it again. It ends up being the right call. We're at 12-12, as close as can be. Round 25, potentially 5 rounds left in this whole tournament. Or maybe OT, or maybe map 3. I think everything is still in play in a very real way.
Flash past doors. Look at Bomb go. Brokey wants another one. He wants in on the action. Rain's going to take the front runner position. There's already so much presence coming out of FaZe here. They could very well just run this up into the B ramp, and who's going to hold them back? It's Forrest at bat, and he's just instantaneously dropped. Plopsky could turn his attention in 2 ways, but now he's relegated to the MP9, so he slips in amidst them and actually has a chance at a bit more, unless Nico can claw his way from the bottom of doors. Nope, it's Rain. A very real threat in Plopsky has been dealt with. He had to do everything that round.
Wow. Oh my god. Man, they really have some agency knowledge. How they've actually hit this site one more time. It's going even better every single time.
And unfortunately, it's the cash that starts to play a factor.
Yeah.
We watched Plopsky go from M4 to FAMAS to MP9. Next round, what's he got?
That's very telling. You know, obviously.
And the last CT may not even hold on to the M4. You know Brokey wants him.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You know, like the guns keep getting worse, but they still end up buying.
It's getting harder.
It keeps getting harder. They still end up buying. So, you know, circumstances are only becoming poorer at the B site. Problems only becoming worse. Confidence only dropping. And FaZe are still keeping their foot on Ninja's throat on this part of the map. So difficult for such a talented player. And they aren't letting them rest even after the round is over, making sure to finish off the remaining exiting players as well. And they're cheering only after those kills are coming too. This is huge. FaZe know exactly what they need to do. How do Ninjas respond to that? It's so difficult. I mean, you've got to be able to hold. You can't put more than 3 players on the right side of the map. You know what I mean? You can't have a guy. Boosted in CD spawn, but then if you have a player on the right side of the map, or the right side of mid, and then 2 players in B, and you have 2 on A. The map you're already thinned out so much on the CT side. Lekro trying to go huge. 90 ADR is a great stat, but he's not playing B. Oh my god.
Insult to injury. The only defender towards that B site just gets peeled off. Oh, that's such a tough pill to swallow.
That's maybe all she wrote. This is,
I mean, at least, if there's anything for NiP, is that frag doesn't deflate you because you knew the odds are this 14th was for FaZe.
Yeah, and it's pistols. And, you know, those mid kills are going to happen. It's the nature of the game. But they won't happen all the time. And ultimately, if they do, it's not because you made a bad move.
Yeah.
You know,
better now than in the next.
That's true. Definitely. Yeah, if there's some kind of cosmic rhythm to it, and you feel like you've exhausted that luck, then it's better to have happened when you've got pistols crossing mid.
Still FaZe. They're not just going to let that one door pick rush them into a situation that they may regret, so they'll hold. They'll be patient. They'll play this one through.
Yeah. FaZe versus Liquid. FaZe go long every single time on the anti-ecos. Here we have 2 B-side takes on the eco rounds. We also have 4 B-site takes in total. This one counts less, obviously, because it's versus pistols, but still an interesting thing to think. This is something that, you know, you really want to get in the TeamSpeak and figure out exactly what the calls were. What was the thought process behind it? But we can obviously see it's working well. That's it. Oh, your heart always drops. You have pistols, you still expect you can win any round, you know, so you always, it always sucks to find out that they've just avoided you completely. And they knock down all the kills. Rez wants to hold on to this SIG if possible. Rain's trying to meet him for the shootout. Lekro's happy to shoot.
Yeah, come get some.
Yeah. The Deagle's not a disadvantage for Lekro.
He lives and breathes the Deagle. Although, stop jumping. Settle down now, Olaf. That op too valuable to lose. Although they are knocking on victory's door.
Yeah, it's true.
This was a big one.
It seemed like for a moment there, NiP were just going to take this half, just finish it off. 6 of the last 7 go to FaZe as we move into round 27.
It's so comparable to what we had in the first half, where the CTs had that early success and then the terrorists break through. Although remember, FaZe did close with 3 rounds in a row, so Ninjas could do the same. This is when the pressure sinks in. The reality is, one more round gives FaZe their 15th. A little bit of damage on the cross, but at least no death dished out.
They recognize the value that they've had, that they've gotten out of that, just kind of how much presence they put at the mid doors early on. Yes, it's been partially luck, but there they try to decrease the variance by increasing the amount of people giving it attention. Now to mid once again. Eyes here just to control it. CTs don't want anything to do with this. Almost fully backed off. Lekro's not boosted in any sense. He's sitting with an emphasis towards A. He's been the standout player on NiP so far. But he's also been slightly hamstrung. They've been doing a good job of staying out of his crosshairs.
The weight of this round is so obvious in what these teams are willing to show.
The long corner smoke. It's a delayed take 2, trying to bait utility. And Rez is out in the open. He will get hard cleared in this position, and he doesn't have a teammate to help him out. Twist has his own job to do, and Lekro is still worried about the thought of a fake. This is a great call by FaZe.
The situation's unfolded so many times before, and normally it's FaZe to come out on top. So they'll try to rock him once again. Rain turns back, sees Lekro, and there's the first, but Rez is able to hold on at least for the first frag. Twist turns his attention too, but Rain has slipped through, and a second kill is his. Now Rez is worried about the site, but there's still one more tucked in long. That's Brokey.
He doesn't even have to fight this. I mean, they have to retake from long. If Brocky shut down a rotate that was coming that way, that's great. If he doesn't, he knows they're going cat or CT spawn.
And Olaf feels so pinned into this position. He's just crouching. He's just cowering, and now he's been cleared. Brokey's activated from long, delayed peek, but it works. Swapping to the off. Forest, and Nico gets it done. FaZe to 15.
What a shot when they needed it the most. That was ridiculous. Great round, great patience from Brokey. What a standout player so far. That's really sick. I mean, that's for match point. They have locked this down. That was not, that was like, you know, who knew who was going to win that retake? That's another kind of really up in the air round. I'm actually shocked that FaZe put it together so cleanly at the end. Even when they picked off Olaf, you thought, okay, they're going to make too much presence, and there's a nade to land at the feet of Nico. He doesn't even get an op shot off. And of course, we can't write off NiP just yet.
No, sir, they still have a good enough buy. They could make this happen. They know they're off the back foot. But Rez tucks himself behind the doors.
They're trying to bait him into pushing. But he's a smart fish today.
So he'll wait. Bomb still lingers on towards spawn. coldzera holds in anticipation. Twist will do the exact same thing towards mid. What they are currently doing is corralling FaZe up cat. They're giving them that and hoping they take it back.
No one dares to push B. 2-on-2. Lekro is the one on A this time. this be it.
A lot of pressure on Lekro. He's going to be holding that ramp. He is going to need crisp, pristine M4 headshots. Tries to spam a bit, and this is going to give his position away. They know he's at Ollie up and over, cannot put it out, and now he's going to be caught on the reload. They could close this distance, but Twist somehow inside of the smoke gets one, and Lekro adds another to the tally. A 5 versus 2. Ninja's not done yet. Cold, wide swings. He's got all the utility in the world, but what he lacks is teammates, although it's Nico that he has still by his side. And now Twist revealing himself, still 8 seconds, bombs on site. Bombs now planted, and it's 2v2, 2v1! FaZe ready to win this! Plopsky's coming up from Catwalk. He sees the first, but now he sees nothing, and it's just defeat! FaZe 16-12! The only team to win 2 blasts all year long. They show up with Brokey. Years of experience across this roster and another blast trophy to raise. This win is theirs. Copenhagen on your feet.